All right, so let me give you a little bit of background of who I am, what I'm about, and my ultimate goal. So basically, the short story is I went to college, did about 8 years of undergrad. I transferred about four different times. So I went to four different schools, four or five different schools, and studied engineering and physics. I got my degrees in engineering and physics. Worked as an engineering inspector, so I was inspecting engineering labs across the country. This is the U.S. So I was inspecting engineering labs across the country, and I pretty much was always on the road, and I was traveling for a little bit more than half of the year. So I was always on the road. I was always in hotels, so I saw a lot of the country. And then after a while, it's just started like when you keep visiting the same U.S. When you keep visiting different states, sure they have their nuances and they're a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like they're all the same thing. It's all American cities. So I remember I never left the country. So I remember I was getting ready to like just travel with my guys, and so the first place we went to was Rio de Janeiro for the Carnival. So they do it every February. So we went there. It was an amazing experience, and then it just opened up my eyes to what's out there in the world. It's not all about just being in America, like actually experiencing it. Now, of course, from TV media, I knew that there was stuff out there, but it is a different thing when you actually go into another culture. You start to see how they move, and basically I just got caught with the travel bug. I wanted to do it more, but because I have a regular job, I'm going to have to keep asking for permission and everything that goes with that. It's just I didn't want to do it. I know I didn't want to do it, and I had to find a way out. So fast forward, I did a lot of Google research on what can I do that doesn't require a degree, because I read the engineering and physics, and if I'm gonna start a business or something, I don't want to be worrying about credentials and stuff like that. So at the time, this was like around 2017, 2016. I looked up, I came across a home inspector. So I looked at what it takes to become a home inspector, and it depends on which state you're at. Some of the states you need to be licensed. Other states you don't. I lived in Georgia for a year. You don't need a license over there, but originally from the DMV, Maryland, DC, Virginia, you do need a license. So I had to go ahead and get the license. But anyways, so I went ahead with home inspection. Great business. You can make a lot of money doing it, especially by yourself. And the business was successful after about 5 months. So I remember I quit my job, and then I quit my job around like March or April or something like that. And then by the end of the year with my business, I was making more than what I was getting from my old job. And so the business was successful. The only problem is I didn't set it up right. I set it up as really a job, not a business. Meaning when I stopped working, or if I wanted to take vacation or do anything, I wasn't getting paid for it. If I don't work, I'm not getting paid for it. I didn't really think about bringing in employees. I didn't have any plan. I didn't plan anything out. I just want to go ahead, do it so I can have that freedom. Eventually, I burned out, and because I didn't set up my business right, I couldn't sell it. So I just had to dissolve it, and that was it. And then I went through a period of just trying to figure out what's the next step, what I'm trying to do going forward, what is my purpose in life. It was just a lot of stuff I had to think about. And so that's basically the background of just my entrepreneurial journey and how it started, why I got started. It was really just to see the world, and then from there it just kind of grew more and more and more. Now my goal, and I had this goal for a long time, I'm Nigerian. I got two Nigerian parents, and my goal for myself is I want to leave America and I want to live in West Africa, and I want to be someone that is actually empowering the region over there. So it's just so many opportunities in different places of the world. I like West Africa obviously because I can relate to the culture. I grew up in a West African Nigerian household, and that's just the area I like. So my ultimate goal is to be over there, and I gotta set up this business right so that I can achieve that goal. So that's what I'm doing, and that's the goal I have for myself. So periodically throughout my videos, I'll talk about just different stuff of just being that solopreneur or entrepreneur. I really focus on solopreneurs. Another thing I kind of started is trying to help solopreneurs or coach solopreneurs in starting their first business. Have a course on that, very simple, really affordable. It's only like 97 bucks. If you're interested, you can look at this video's description and you can see what I'm talking about. You could go ahead and take it. And money back guarantee, always. There's no time limit. All I ask is just you put in the work. But anyways, so what made me interested in doing this is just let me document my journey. I wanted more experience as far as building up a business that has employees, can operate on its own, and share the details of what goes on throughout that journey, because I don't really see that type of content on YouTube. So I can share that journey, and then you can pick up some helpful nuggets, and you can kind of put yourself in that position as I'm explaining what I'm going through, the frustrations and everything that goes along with that. So I'm starting at ground zero, don't have a job, pretty much just do DoorDash, and then so what I'm gonna document, starting at the DoorDash phase. So maybe you have a job, or maybe you don't have a job. I don't know, whatever. But this is a gig economy. This is gig economy times. I'm gonna talk about some things that I picked up. So I'm gonna start there, and then just track how I start to move up. Because during the period of me stopping the home inspection business, me studying, working with a mentor, and I did a lot of studying and reading, and then just getting to the point where I know a lot of stuff. And of course it's theory, but I want to put it in practice and try to test some of the stuff. And the way I'm going to go about it is I'm following what's in my course to the T. And so then I can say, hey, it's a logical process of how you get the lifestyle that you want. And that's always the end goal. It's not necessarily about the business. It's about how do you get to the lifestyle that you actually want. So I don't want to feel like I'm rambling. But anyways, so that's the whole reason why I started this. And this is how I'm going to go about it. I'm just going to document everything. The stress, the frustration, what to expect, how to plan, all that stuff is going to be in these videos. And then, of course, I always welcome feedback, and especially what you're doing yourself, because we all have different paths. This is one thing you're going to realize about entrepreneurship. When you go online and you hear all these gurus and all these business people talk about you got to do it this way or marketing this way, what you should focus on are the principles of business, especially when it comes to marketing. There's like a million ways to do something. Just because that person on the video is telling you to do one way doesn't mean it's the only way. And then you got to think about the time period. When were they doing this? Because the world is always shifting. You got AI coming into play. Like there's so many different ways to go about it. If you understand the principles of marketing and business and financials, then you're going to be fine. You can always adapt, and you can do what you want, do what you need to do. So that's why I don't really want to specifically talk about this one path or whatever. You're going to have your own path. Things are going to be different. You have your own goals. Hey, you got to figure out what works best for you. I'm trying to think so I talked about my background and why I started doing this. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's really important. So I do have 2 different journals. I've heard about this so many times just in my reading and studying. It's good to write stuff down, and I kind of view it as I want to, especially when I write it down, because I want to write a book about this process, this journey. But I have a journal for my business journey and then another one for my personal journey. So I'm doing them both at the same time. Trying to really be consistent about just multiple times a week. But anyway, so write it down. That's what I would suggest. Just write it down. Get your thoughts in order. And so and this is just video form of me sharing it, because sometimes it's good to people can give you some good ideas. Like everything is connected in the world, and I want to hear maybe someone has a better approach to what I'm doing, especially if I get stuck. I want to be able to ask you all like, hey, what do you think, or what have you done? So that's basically my goal. So the ultimate goal, West Africa. In order to get there, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, okay. So I started that first service-based business, the home inspection business, and then now what I'm gonna do for this new business, I'm going to redo that home inspection business, but it's not gonna be the same type of business. I'm gonna make sure this thing is amazing. It's gonna be really robust. Once I officialize all the different services that I'm gonna do, then I'll share it with you. But it's not going to be the same type of business. I'm gonna have employees this time. It's gonna be running like a machine, and to the point where I want to set it up so that in about 5 years, 3 to 5 years, I can sell it and get, it's gonna be 8 figures for it. That's my goal. Take that money, I can invest in West Africa, and this is something that I will definitely stress a lot in my videos. You need to think about what type of lifestyle you want. What is your end goal? What is your purpose? If you don't understand any of that stuff, you can't really be successful in whatever path you're gonna burn out at some point, or you're just gonna lose interest. So you always got to focus. Always start with what exactly you want, and then once you truly understand what it is that you want, then you can start crafting a path to get there. You can start asking for advice. Now it's more specialized or specific to you and what you're trying to do. But if you don't know what you're trying to do, or you don't know your purpose, you're gonna waste a lot of time and energy and money. So it's really important that you figure that part out. So yeah, so redoing the home inspection business is gonna make it better than ever. I got so many ideas in my head. So one thing I do like about just business entrepreneurship, it allows you to kind of be a kid. And what I mean is, when you're a kid, you always have all these ideas. You want to try different stuff, and then you grow up, and then it's like more structured. But when you're an entrepreneur, it allows you to have that creative freedom, and I love it. So I got a lot of ideas in my head that I want to try. I'm gonna obviously share it with you all as I go along that process, see what works, what doesn't work, and then I'll share that, and hopefully that will help you in your own journey. So I think that's it. And of course, I do have my business coaching. And you can always see that all that information on my videos. I really talk about the course. There's a process of how you get from starting all the way to the end of the whole goal is to get to the lifestyle that you want. So if you want a certain lifestyle, whatever it is, there's a process you go about when you're trying to start your business. And this is just from literally thousands of hours of studying, my own experience, what I observed from other people, and it's really simple. So you could go ahead and check that out. But that's all I got to say for this video. I'm gonna try to keep these videos kind of short. Like, this is pretty long, but it's the first video. I'm just trying to explain what I'm trying to do. But generally, I want to keep them around maybe like around 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes. And then maybe if I'm really trying to show something, then it'll be a bit longer. But I'm trying to keep it quick and sweet. So if you're liking that, definitely subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Click the bell so that you are alerted when I drop new videos. And leave a comment down below if you already started your business, or you're planning on starting, or you're thinking about starting. I'd love to give you some, or maybe not just specific give you feedback, but I'd love to know what you're doing in your life, and what you're trying to reach, what goal you're trying to accomplish, what purpose are you trying to fulfill. I'd love to know more about that. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video.